We didn't do anything. Wala talaga tayong trabaho. And I was itching. The workaholic in me was itching to do something. And during that time, nakikita ko yung wife ko. This is such a contrast from the presentation of Kenneth. Yung wife ko yung gumawa ng presentation ko. But yeah, so during that time, I saw my wife. She was so busy with what she was doing. I didn't have a YouTube channel yet, but my wife is a vlogger. So naingit ako sa kanya, parang buti ka pa, may gagawin ka. Ako dito, nakatanga na lang, tulala lang palagi. And if you remember during the pandemic, all of us were stuck in our homes. So everybody had problems with their houses. And everybody had, I think everybody had a problem with finding people that would help them fix their houses also. Diba? No one can come into our houses. So literally every single day, someone would be calling me with a problem about their house and asking me how to fix it. And one of those people was my mother-in-law. So my mother-in-law, syempre mabigat pag matawag na siya. Slater, ayaw mo pumunta ka dito sa bahay, pero how can I fix this? So this is eventually the story of how I got started with my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel was really a passion project of sorts. It was born out of boredom. It wasn't meant to be popular. It wasn't meant to be anything. It was truly just for my mother-in-law, just that one person. Andito pala siya. Hi, Mom. Joke lang. Joke lang. This is what brought the YouTube channel to life. It was so basic. All the items, I'm sure a lot of developers here, all these mga topics was so basic. And the whole time I was talking to the camera, I was really just imagining talking to her. And the YouTube video helped me explain things better than a phone call. And it kept me from repeating myself. So I can refer now, friends, to just the YouTube video. And the whole time, it was just easy topics, easy to understand, spoken in a language where everybody can understand. And it was truly just for that one single person. So the picture on the right, mahaba yung buhok ko, ito yung time na wala pa tayong mga haircuts. So very basic, very niche. I thought it was going to be niche, but a lot of people actually were able to relate to that. So ito yung story of I think this is an ongoing trend that I will show you in a little bit. Si Spotify lumapit din sa amin a few months after this, and they asked us to do a podcast. So, can you and your wife do a podcast? So, ginawa namin dito is we didn't know how to make a podcast. So we just sat down, grabbed the mic, and talked about anything under the sun. So, anything under the sun, I remember our first topic was 7 minutes long lang talaga, and it was me and my wife arguing about who should put up the toilet seat. So yun lang yung topic namin. That was our first season, and we did well. But I feel like what really made the podcast very successful, we eventually became the #1 podcast in the Philippines and #3 tayo in Asia according to Spotify. Was when we figured out that we were gonna talk to just another one person, which was our friend at that time, very Gen Z, so with all these Gen Z problems, such as love life, mga work-life balance, problems with their parents. So ito yung nangyari during that time, when we launched a second season, and sinabi namin, what if that one person is just listening to us as if she was part of the conversation, but listening to us about the journey that we had based on the problems that she's having. So we eventually had one of the very successful podcasts. This was us celebrating nagmamayabang lang on the plaques, the YouTube plaques that we've had. One for the podcast, one for her, Chris, and one for my YouTube channel as well. But yeah, I understand what's the point in all this, what's the point in all this talk na nasa SHDA convention tayo. I'm not asking you guys to be vloggers or podcasters. I feel like it's relatable because we had a similar issue when we were dealing with Monterrazas Prime. So Monterrazas Prime was our pandemic baby also. And at that time, it was one of the most expensive subdivisions na ginagawa, house and lots. So when we were conceptualizing this, medyo it was kind of scary. Alam namin yung, we did the typical target market, okay, high-end to, paano natin design, etc. We did that, but we were having a problem with narrowing down the design. We built 2 stories instead of 3 stories. We wanted to color the house black. One of my partners are here, sila MNG Architects. We were having an argument with, kailangan ba talaga itim? Parang mas marami yung market pag puti yung bahay. So yun yung mga conversations that we were having. Do we go for a high-end kitchen or not? But eventually we kind of like use the same thinking with social media. What if we just talk to one person? And this person was very clear in my head. She's my cousin. She's a business person. Meron siya anak. Meron siyang husband who's also a business person. But she doesn't want to build her own house. Masakit sa ulo, etc. And alam ko talaga yung profile niya. I know her by heart. So what we did with this one is we actually used her as a filter for all the decision making. So for example, Monterrazas Prime, the location, is on a very steep slope. Alam namin that a person like her would have concerns with safety and peace of mind. So what we did for this project is we purposely over-designed the structure. Pagpasok mo, makikita mo the columns that we're building is about 750 by 750 for a house. Similar to just going in the basement of mga malls, ganyan kalaki yung mga columns. And that was purposely done kasi alam namin the market would, a person like my cousin would appreciate that and is willing to spend for that. And parang yun na yung ginagamit namin as the decision-making factor. With the kitchen, we knew that it should be open design so that while she's cooking, she can see her kids. Even the pool can be seen while she's cooking. We went with the black because alam ko my cousin would like that. So we were having a problem with designing for 30 people, or 30, more than 30 people for this project. But by making it na isa na lang yung tao na din-design namin for, we were able to narrow down and be confident in our decisions. So I feel like maybe magagamit natin with our future projects. Ito, like Lock, we did the same thing. Singin ko na lang dito, shameless plug. Ito na yung advertisement portion ng YouTube video. So, Light Block was our baby for 10 years now. 10 years now, and recently we made a jump to a whole new product. And it was born out of just what would I personally want. So, ako yung nagiging muse nito. What would I personally want as a contractor and as a developer instead of just being everything for everybody? I'll be just designing for myself. So, we ended up with Light Panel. So Light Panel is a version of Light Block that we made very, very much lighter. So now, this is actually a lot cheaper than Light Block and a lot faster to install. So, it's lightweight concrete, but it's unlike any other lightweight concrete that's on the market today. This is pure concrete, so walang mga limestone, walang mga styrofoam, and it's a sandwich panel. So our purpose was to make it as big as possible and as light as possible, so mabilis yung installation. And marami itong mga maliliit na factors that makes it very, very different from what is on the market today. So fire insulation, sound insulation, all these factors, earthquake, but can be possible here lang. So this was one of the big decisions that we had to make. Most of the lightweight concrete products out there, hindi kaya yung pulp. The normal pulp hindi kaya because it's mixed with styrofoam, it's mixed with something else. But sabi ko sa team namin, R&D team namin na, I wanted to be able to hold a boat. Sabi nila, sir, everything on the market doesn't hold a boat. Why do we have to do it? Nadidelay na tayo sa launch. Sabi ko, if this was my own house, and if this was my own project, I don't want someone hanging something and nag-earthquake and biglang may mahuhulog. So this took us about 6 months just to figure out just getting the book there. And pinilit ko talaga because I was a target market. This is my personal, lahat ng mga decisions kailangan papasa sa akin. So I was the filter for this product. So, so yan, benta lang din ako sa inyo ng content. Pero yeah, we can fast forward. Umulit lang. Sorry guys, we have to watch it again. Yeah, so this is one of the things that makes it really fast. So, kasi may board na siya, it's flat na when you install it, so still load ka na lang agad. And this one, demonstrate namin that even if it's lightweight, it can still hold a lot of flexural stress. So, mga earthquakes and typhoons were rated for that also. Okay, so this thinking of just having that one person, we're applying it to all the projects in the pipeline. We recently launched the Rise at Monterasas, so a very popular project natin dito. We used the same thinking here. We were thinking of someone, one of my friends. So, very outdoor oriented. We're thinking of a young couple, one of my friends actually. Mahilig sila sa dogs, so we wanted it to be pet friendly. We wanted to be, they live an active lifestyle and they travel a lot. So, these were all the filters we were using when we were designing the Rise at Monterasas. So, very nature oriented, outdoors. Really feels like a home talaga instead of a condo. So even when you're out in the balcony, the backdrop is all nature. Took us about 3 years and a lot of revisions to do this. Buti na lang, hindi pa nagalit yung architect sa amin. Thank you. I think what I'm trying to get at is, itong pag-design natin, if we can put, instead of the typical target market, the typical feasibility study, if we can put a face to that design, if we can put ourselves in the shoes of someone that we can relate to, and parang mas ma-embody natin kung how they live, how they work, how they play, I think we can design with a lot more empathy. So, alam naman kasi natin na during the development, we were busy doing a lot of things. Being developers, sobrang busy talaga tayo. We sometimes spend a lot of time building the bridge, but we forget about the people that are crossing it. So, this is kind of like the little nugget that I'm trying to get at.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Slater.